Wow, I want to talk about the Zohar. I want to talk about the Zohar Kodesh. So what triggered me to talk? What triggered me to talk about the Zohar is that there's misnagdim to the Zohar these days. There's misnagdim, and everything in this world is much deeper. I remember we were once, and we have a big host today. No, come. I want to talk about the Zohar Kodesh. So I'll tell you a small thing that in YouTube there is so one of the interesting things of the concept that there's YouTube and social media and all of these things, which it's a good thing. It's a good thing, but it's like I think the technology movement is a very blessed movement, but is like every light in the world has his like basically his danger or something you have to be aware. And let's say I believe that the smartphone is a good thing, and I'm aware that most of the world is using it most of the world are better off without a smartphone right now than with. So yeah, it helps you with Waze and a couple more good things. But probably a vast majority of the world are having a worse lifestyle with a smartphone than the guy in Shtetl 200 years ago. Most likely. I would think it's a fact. That's what I would think. And still I hold that the smartphone is a good thing. How does it work together? Why, I'm contradicting myself. So I do think that the be'etzem, a smartphone is a good thing. But because of the light that the smartphone has, meaning the light of that everything is available, the light that everything is accessible, the light of the fact that it can make a person so distracted, and it's a very easy target to fill up voids that it has to be filled with real stuff, and it's a very easy place to get this as an answer of the voids, as known as addiction. And that's why it's addictive. Okay? Like, is food a good thing? Yeah. Food is a beautiful thing. but most of people do not eat healthy and do not eat in a healthy way and do not eat in a healthy amount. That's not because the food is not a good thing. That's because they have like we're in gulas, we're sick. And I do think that our generation, there is bchira to heal. And when a person is healed, he's using all these things for the benefit, and he's way better off than without having it. So let's bring a little bit a mystic mindset of that. Like we said it a few times, but I think it comes in right now. The Vilna Gaon says that every 1,000 years is one day. Compared to days, right? Like, it's basically, there's a makot Chazal to that. Not that the Vilna Gaon is not Chazal. The Vilna Gaon by me is Chazal. Heilige Vilna Gaon by me is Chazal. If he says something, it's straight up Chazal. Straight up Chazal. And that's a little bit what we're going to talk about, shmuz about today. But the Vilna Gaon says that basically every 1,000 years is a day. And Chazal say that Mashiach will come going to be Yom Shekilu Shabbos, right? So it's a Yom Shekilu Shabbos, 1,000 years. I think the Gemara says that every 1,000 years is considered a day. Okay? Every 1,000, we have a Rebbetzin blouse over here. Unbelievable. Wow, we have some Rebbetzin. We have a lot of Rebbetzins today. Anyways, so if 1,000 years is a day, I think the Gemara is asking, how do we know that 1,000 years of Hashem is a day? Keyoim etmol. Anyways, So the Vilna says that we're now, Mitzikel just showed it to me, that's a makol, that one day is 1,000 years. Okay, so Mimele, Friday, we are now on Friday afternoon, in the amount of the years, that we can have a decision that we want to make Kabul Shabbos. Shabbos is freedom. Everyone knows. I'm saying, everyone knows the difference in Shabbos and Tuesday. I'm not talking about Tagulas Diga Shabbos or Gela Diga Tuesday. I'm talking about overall. Like we know what's the difference in Tuesday and Shabbos, right? So Friday afternoon, we're on Friday afternoon that we can make a decision. The fun is off. We're already eating Toyameu, and we're going into Shabbos. So our generation in general, like healing and lechtigkeit and comfortability and Geile and the Baal Shem Tov and Teure, things are available. Now obviously, all the klippos are available the same way. Like just because people are after such a long gulas, so we still have the pattern of gulas that we're bringing the new oires of the world, which a part of it is in technology, a part of it is in the oires comes in many ways, and the world is still using it for those patterns, and also the klippos, the world of klippos, meaning the sitra achre, the itzur, whatever he is, which eventually is tafkid, is mission in this world, is to sharp the relationship between the Heilige Vashefer and ourselves, right? It was a very interesting decision of eating from Eitz Hadas. The concept was that we're going to bring it to Eitz HaChaim, to the tree of life. We're going to even bring our illusions there. We're going to even bring our ego there. We're going to take all, sometimes people are stuck, I'm in ego, I'm so sad. This is also the Heilige Vashefer, yeah? That was the decision of Eitz Hadas, that we're going to take even the things that looks like in an illusionary mindset, it looks like separated from Havaya, and we're going to say, Otzmich and Zatzmich, this is Yichud Hashem. Yeah? And so we are in a generation now that we can make a decision, with a generation of Bechire, of deciding, I am a Kabul Shabbos. It's not an easy journey. Oh my goodness, it's not an easy journey. You know the Lachatz Friday afternoon, like when it's, man, you ever tried to make Kabul Shabbos an hour and a half before? Oh, hey. It doesn't make a difference if Shabbos is 9 o'clock or if it's 4 o'clock. See, titzich, right? Not everywhere. There are kitchens that's playing music over there. But I'm saying in general, Siddur has a concept that Kabbalah Shabbos before Shabbos can be a little bit falachatzdik. We're in the falachatz before Kabbalah Shabbos. Stitzach dort. Right? You're sure you forgot something, right? That's a given, that I forgot something. And how can I? Like, it's a levidik. So I don't know how we came to this to the Yom HaShabbos thing, but let's see. I want to talk about the Zohar Kodesh. Why do I want to talk about the Zohar Kodesh? So I saw in YouTube, in Yeshiva's YouTube, so some of the Yeshivim, they have a snagdus to the Zohar Kodesh. Snagdus to the Zohar Kodesh. Everyone with his way, but. And for 2 weeks, I had a little bit, I was a little bit affected by that, and I was not happy I'm affected by that. And 2 days ago, I went to a shiur, and Baruch Hashem, I followed my intuition. Wus kämen da liegen für following intuition? Wus kämen da liegen? Noch einmal, ob die intuition sucht dich. If the intuition tells you right now, it's not really intuition. It tells you have $20,000 in your bank account. Let's make it 40. Very simple. How? You're gonna go to Borgata in Atlantic City, and you're going to put on the red. There's a red or black. You're going to put on the red, and that's how you're going to double your money to 40. That is not intuition. Yeah? That is not intuition, right? This is a voice, but you got to recognize which voice is that, right? Or if the voice tells you after you're already full, right? When a person is full, a person knows. If a person is breathing in the middle of eating, he knows when Baruch Hashem, the meal is over. And then a new piece comes in, a new piece of steak comes in, like one that you cut it, like a tomahawk comes in, like mit a Lechtigkeit, a trigger from the Korbunen, it comes in, and the person has a very deep voice to take a good piece right now. Right? That is not intuition. I don't know what is it. We're going to find something else, a different word, but this is not intuition. So, what I realized is that as more a person is cleansing himself, his intuition is more. Oh, you hear me now? The Olam hears me now?
3 seconds delay.
Ja, the Olam hört. In der Zessul hört man. In der Zessul, they hear me?
Yeah, it froze for it froze for a few seconds before.
Okay, it was meant to freeze. Freedom, you hear me in the Zessul? Am I heard in the Zessul? Otazu, very good. Very good. Okay. The main thing is, that's the main concept over here. Anyways, so, because it comes still at Zessul, verstehst? So, the thing is also. So, Zohar HaKudosh, I had an intuition, I went to shul, and I was behind in the Fayomi, so I know which sefer I need to take. But there's a sefer that was like shining to me in the middle of the bookshelves. And I took it out, and I was like, my intuition tells me to open the sefer right now. And I opened the sefer, and I opened it up, and it opened a sefer from Reb Pinchas Koritzer. Reb Pinchas Koritzer was a tzaddik that he said on himself that he worked on the concept of emes, concept of truth. Simple concept, truth. Truth is such a emes that you can't even explain it. Meaning, it's very hard to explain truth because it's higher than it's more true than logic. It's way truer than logic. Meaning, logic is also true. Logic is true, but the truth is way truer than this. Yeah, is that a real word? Truer? I made it up, right? It's a true word. So, anyways, the story is as like. By the way, I'm not a misnaged to logic, but I talk a lot about logic because I'm not a misnaged. Because I like logic, that's why I hop what's the danger to get stuck over there. Because I'm enjoying it. Not because I think that I think it's a crazy good tool for life. I'm saying it's an amazing tool. It helps you experience, it helps you be, it helps you know, it helps you, but there's, like, because it's such a good tool, we have to know it's a tool. It's not me. Me is not my logic. Tuli Kletzkin is not his logic. Tuli Kletzkin has logic, and he has emotions, and he has feelings, and he has a brain, and he has a body, but it's not me. All of the above that I just mentioned is not me. It's certain expressions of me, it's certain tools, it's certain emotions, but it's not me. What am I? I don't know. I can't comprehend what am I. But I know that I am being expressed by those things. And basically, what I just said, I opened, the Reb Pinchas Koritzer said that for 20 years or something like that, he worked on emes, the truth. Sie do Emes of the Welt. Emes is the flow. Emes is the alignment. Emes is Yichud. Yichud. One. Like I think we have to repeat this definition, but I can't hold myself back because Hillel HaKadosh came out right now. Hillel HaKadosh. Hillel can't wait for this. And the two Hillels are next to each other. It's unbelievable what's happening over here. The kids so what's the two Hillels are next to each other. I'm so distracted. Oh, there's a distraction, the Kedusha, you know? Everything has two main Kedusha. There's a distraction, the Kedusha, you know, like looking at Hillel. Unbelievable. Anyways, it's not even Bittul Torah. This is Torah alone. Like, look at his face. It's Torah. It's like good. Unbelievable. Anyways, so the Pinchas goes that he worked on Midas Emes for 20-something years. And he says that there's nobody in the world is in such a Emes mensch like him. Only a person that's really Emes can say it, because it's like, yeah, I'm the biggest Emes. It's Emes, I will say it. You know what I'm saying? Probably said it for a reason. You know, what's the reason? We should take him serious? I don't know what's the reason. Anyways. So I opened the Pinchas Koretz. Talmud, I think it's considered the Talmud of the Baal Shem Tov, the Heilige Baal Shem. And there's mamish on and on and on about the Zohar HaKodesh. On and on and on about the Zohar HaKodesh. Unbelievable. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop to talk about the Zohar HaKodesh. The Zohar HaKodesh, you know, Likutei Moharan starts with a maimah from the Zohar HaKodesh from Rab Shimon. The Heilige Arizal is based on the Zohar. The Zohar says, why is it so important to talk about the Zohar? Because the Zohar says, you know what's the word Zohar? You know, there's a concept called Zehirus. Right? Without the Zohar, you know what Zehirus means? Kpaidus. Like, don't do this, you're gonna burn in hell, you're gonna get schar, oh my goodness, Tate v'nish v'shomayim. But the second we have a Zohar, the whole part of Zohar is to say, you know what Zehirus? Zehirus means, this thing is so lechtig, you are Ben Melech. A Ben Melech does not belong here, in the real term of it. You're more than that. You don't belong in garbage because you are way more than that, because it's so lechtig and the mitzvahs are lechtig. The mitzvahs are a relationship. You know what I realized? I realized that the Zohar HaKodesh is the psikim from the Zohar HaKodesh. What, from my experience, I did not go over all of it, but it doesn't stop quoting Shir HaShirim psikim. The Zohar HaKodesh is full of Shir HaShirim. Shir HaShirim, Shir HaShirim, Shir HaShirim. It doesn't stop taking Shir HaShirim psikim. Shir HaShirim is a relationship. Shir HaShirim is to the love of the Torah HaKadosh. Shir HaShirim is the unbreakable connection, unconditional connection. Shir HaShirim is we're married. It doesn't make a difference. We are married. I love you. You love me. That's Shir HaShirim. The Zohar HaKadosh doesn't stop bringing Shir HaShirim. Doesn't stop to explain the Shir HaShirim, right? Shir HaShirim is not rules, it's not dinim. Shir HaShirim is to explain what's really happening. And therefore, the Zohar HaKodesh, the people, I truly believe that the people who can't connect to the Zohar, which means that they cannot connect to Baal Shem Tov, to the Arizal, to Reb Nachman, to the Chassidus, it's too vulnerable for them. It's too. Where are we putting this? So I want to quote a few things from the Heilige Pinchas Koretz. So let's see how it's going to bring us. Iflig moed b'shevach hazoya. Pinchas Koretz was talking a lot about the shevach from the Zohar. He says, the Pinchas Koretz says that the Zohar every day has a different pshat. Meaning the Zohar is not so mitzumtzum dik. You learn the Zohar in this. When you come to the Zohar with this mood, so you find pshat in the Zohar like this. When you come with that mood, it's higher than limitations. The Zohar Kodesh. The Zohar is Eitz HaChaim, says Reb Pinchas Koritzer. The Zohar is Eitz HaChaim. And by the way, I'm like, tzaddikim say, a lot of Zohars with Musaf Midvash is very explainable, very easy, by the way. It's easier than most of Zohar is easier. People think Zohar. Most of Zohar, not the Idris is harder, but most of Zohar on the Parsha, most of parts of it is the parts you can know. When we learn Zohar with Musaf Midvash, if the bottom has regular Hebrew, I guess, I don't know how to call it, words, it's easy. If it has Rashi words, it's a little bit more complicated. A huge chunk of Zohar, maybe half of Zohar, is easier than the Agadatas of Talmud Bavli, by the way. It's easier. Just easier in a way. Now, me myself, I cannot learn Zohar with Chavrisis. Because Zohar is an intimate thing. It's a relationship. It's for my neshuma. It's getting showering the neshuma. You know, it's an intimate thing. And I would recommend every person, you don't understand, especially for guys, I would recommend to learn Zohar. Learn Zohar. Verstehen, nicht verstehen. Allein, it's push it lernen Zohar. Es beemes schwenkt up den Neshum. Es schwenkt up den Neshum. Erst Buch Zohar schwenkt up den Neshum. Die Osach liebt zu schwenken. Ich such den Zohar, da gibt is a good one. It's for free. Ich such das, kostet nicht Geld. Ich hab noch ein bisschen Medrisch. Ich such das, ich schwenk den Neshum. Schwenk den Neshum the Zohar. And he says, the Reb Pinchas Koritzer says that the Gulus is so dark that you need a big light. And the big light is the Zohar HaKodesh. I want to tell you something. The old Reb Shlomo Karlebach, Reb Nachman ben Fege, the Baal Shem Tov, everything that's happening these days, Thank You Hashem movement, everything is based on Zohar. This whole thing is based on Zohar. Zohar is from a trickene It's relating. It's my emotions, it's my experience. Anlegen the emotions in Yiddishkeit. Nicht anlegen, sie belang dorten. The core of emotions is in the Torah. And the Zohar is the Zohar, we call HaMistav. The Zohar has a special part of the days of Mashiach.
So it's a feeling experience.
Oh, Lila. You know when you feel Zohar? When you don't have to feel it. And not only Zohar, everything in life. When a person is not conditioned to feeling, then he's open to feel. When a person is like, I need to feel. What attachment to feeling? It's the same attachment as logic. We're bigger than feelings, we're bigger than logic, we're bigger than everything. Now, I want to go back. We're bigger than money. I like feelings, I like logic, I like money, I like every good thing that I just say. But this is not a condition. None of the above is a condition. We're bigger than this, we're greater than... And the neshama feels... The neshama is in a good place regardless. Now, if a person never feels, that shows that there's something... If a person never feels, Stopped.
Die wil zoeken, maar me heet niet.
Schei?
Maar me heet niet.
Se du menies an, se du menies, Baruch Hashem. Oid laden eu kitef kum chadas, du menies. The shil is nicht a bad spot, but I guess the shil is a Shabbos de gemasse, du. Oy, die laden ik het gaat das du meni. Zo, die laden ik het gaat das du meni. Oy, die laden ik het gaat das du meni. Eza khanil. Eza gitan. Listen. It's very important because we had this conversation a few times. The same way a person, I always like to give meshulim for marriage because I think because Shiur Shiurim is a marriage relationship, it's a marriage mushul, and Shlomo HaMelech was giving meshulim from not from a king, not from a father, and not from a boss. Okay, he gave meshulim from a relationship, from a husband and wife. So I always like to give it the most relative meshulim that I like to give is a husband and wife. That's Shiur Shiurim, that's Baal Shem Tov, that's what I go with. So the heilige a wife, a husband and a wife, a real relationship. It's irrelevant if you feel if there's a Tuesday afternoon 5:00 and you don't feel it. You can't, if you're gonna get lost from that not feeling Tuesday on 5:00, 5 to 9, that not only you don't feel it, you feel it negative a little bit for a few minutes, and you get lost from it, your marriage is very shvacha masas. We're not in a good place in the marriage. I'm telling you, I'm already a couple years in the sigi of marriage. You know, I'm married already for 5 years. I'm telling you, it's not a good one. When a person with himself, if he doesn't feel himself and he's falling down, marriage, forget about marriage. When a person with himself, when he doesn't feel good, when he doesn't feel it right now, and he thinks, what a loser am I? He's not, people should not be limited to anything because we're higher than everything, because we're godly. In the negetlich, in the nachalik von ein sof. Verstehst? Now, feeling is a beautiful kaila, it's a beautiful expression. Seichel is a beautiful expression. Everything, love is a beautiful expression. Yira is a beautiful expression. There's beautiful expressions. But this is not our definition. And we should not be attached to it. That's it. Zug der Heilige Pichas Koetze. It says that the Eibishter bealt sich in Zohar Kodesh. And I feel it sometimes. Sometimes I'm zoiche to experience it. You know what? I want to continue with Hillel for a second. There's a word that I like better than feeling. Experiencing. Experiencing is way higher than feeling. Experiencing is like something. Sometimes I go to the Koisol. Sometimes I feel nothing, absolutely nothing. Or Uman. And sometimes it's like a very silent moment of, It can be even like for a minute. And this is an experience. This is not even a feeling. Like when people do certain psychedelics and this, it's not always feelings. It's higher than feelings. It's an experience. It's a certain experience, a certain being of a new dimension. Like I'm where am I? I'm like, wow, right? Basically, hunting for feelings is a limitation, and that doesn't mean that we should not look for feelings. And feelings is a measure if we're in a good place. It is a measure. Aber nicht wollen verloren von dem. The Pichas Koetze says we have to thank Hashem that He created us on a generation that's do a Zohar of the world. He created us on a generation like ich ziehe as da Baal Shem Tov of the world. He created us on this generation that do Bechire to Mekabel Shabbos on. We have Bechire. I want to tell you something. Some people are busy with their parents or this. Honestly, I don't see how your parents had Bechire to get out of their garbage. I don't see it. We do. Let's see it. You know? We're in a generation as we do Bechire to Aros gan from the Jora. The Pinchas Koretz, the way he says, "V'loi b'shum shlo imutzi sefer hazor ba'olam." The Pinchas Koretz says, "The Zohar brought me lechai olam abu." Ay. The Pinchas Koretz says there are people that sit in villages, that there's no mikvahs in those villages, and therefore they don't want to learn Zohar because there's no mikvahs. Says the Pinchas Koretz, the opposite. The Zohar is the biggest mikvah. You don't want it. The Zohar is a mikvah. The Zohar is the biggest mikvah. A mikvah is beautiful. It's a good thing, but you don't need the mikvah. The Zohar is already a taste of Eitz HaChaim. Eitz HaChaim is the real life. There's no tov v'ra. Everything is Chaim. Everything is good. Everything is lechtig. All the things that looks dark are really lechtig. Look at Ilal HaKadosh. Look at lechtig. I think Ilal is a Zohar Geit. Ilal HaKadosh is a Zohar Geit. Ilal, you make me crazy. Zohar HaKodesh is good for Panusa, for Gaias. I want to explain something. He says over here, from a tzaddik, that Zohar is good for Gaive. I want to explain it. And I think we'll finish with this. When his Yiddishkeit is a sport, is about a race, is about a task, so if someone does the task better, is better, is bigger. But if it's more a being, a relationship, and an experience, there's no better, not better. I'm experiencing it, and I hope they're all going to experience it. And when someone experiences it, it does not take away from my experience. Meaning to be limited on that my Yiddishkeit is measured, how much blood gemur I learn, or how much hours I'm dedicating to Yiddishkeit, or how much v'chule, all measures, then why shouldn't I be a Balgave? But if Yiddishkeit is a deep relationship with ourself, with our Neshuma, with the Heilige Bashefer, with every single Yid, with the Torah HaKdoshe, and it's the deepest pleasure and relationship of giving and receiving that's happening in this world, and we can't even comprehend what's happening, but when a Chalik Elakam Mal, and it's and it is being, and it's also downloaded by an experience, then there's no. When that's the real, then there's the all bigger, smaller. It's not so metzimtzimdik. It's not so measured. Gave is a tzimtzim, and therefore Zohar HaKodesh is a skilla for not to become a Balgave. Because when you learn Zohar HaKodesh, you become godly. Godly is everything, everywhere. It's not. It's nishtu tzimtzim größe klein. Even I don't understand what I just said, but I know it's emes.
Don't even brought up that wow, he's higher on the rank. So go look.
Right. So listen, I want to tell you something. Nocha Blad Gemura can get you closer to Dvaikas Avodah. It's a tool to get you closer, but there are people that another Blad Gemura going to make them further from the Bashefer, because it's more Gava. You have? Meaning a Blad Gemura can make it closer, can make it further. It has a tool to do both. We should be smart and use a Blad Gemura to make us closer, so it's a very good tool. It's a great tool to get closer to the Heilige Bashefer. But this is not it. Chaim Levucha. Shkoyach Rebetz and Fredi for arranging the Shiur.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Was reading the whole time, but there's a lot of money.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Record.